Good evening, everyone. Chris Berryman here, coalition builder and founder of Bringing Humanity Together. Welcome to the special edition of Conversations for Humanity here on LinkedIn. And tonight, for first time only appearance on both our YouTube channels, if you can believe it, Brendaliz, you're going to be both on Conversations for Humanity and the Bringing Humanity Together YouTube channels. How about that?
Oh, this is exciting.
That it is. That it is. So, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Look,
Well,
th-
I can say one thing. You won't have no dog issues today, right?
no, I won't. The door is closed. The door is completely closed. I've been cleaning up, cleaning up, cleaning up. So, yeah, we're ready.
And I am just so humbled and honored that you actually just were nailing it on our other call today. That was the actual one you were supposed to have been on, but you were just so amazing yet again.
I you know what? I think something can be said about speaking from the heart, and when it's a topic that it's something that it's ingrained in you in one way or another, it comes out naturally.
Yes, yes. It is. It is. And we're just so humbled and honored that you wanted to take the time tonight to come share your story and everything like that. I see uh, Petra is here with us today. Petra, we would love for you to get into this great and engaging conversation. The link is actually in the comment section. So I'm going to share this with you and everything like that. So, Brenda Lees, if you could just share everybody who you are, not what you do, and tell them a little bit about who you are.
So, I'm a mindset and empowerment coach. I use an integrative approach into my coaching. Um, to help people overcome their own internal programming and allow them to move forward. I'm focused right now on entrepreneurship, people who are either new or going in entrepreneurship, but I have supported many different areas of life. So I I am Brendaliz Acosta. I am native from Puerto Rico. I was born, raised in Puerto Rico, lived in Puerto Rico until 2013 when I moved my family with me here to fabulous New Jersey. And we're getting close to doing that jump to Florida in the next couple of weeks. So it's all happening so fast and exciting at the same time.
And I truly believe, if I remember correctly, that Jacksonville probably was one of the best places you wanted to go, if I remember correctly in the conversation that we had, was it not?
No, actually, I'm going south of Jacksonville. I'm going to be in St. Augustine.
St. Augustine, that is right. You did say St. Augustine.
I said I
Okay,
was going to be close to the St. John River, which is where you were
that is
born.
true. I was born on the St. Johns River. That is correct.
Ah, I
Yes, yes,
remember.
yes. Absolutely, absolutely. So again, we're just so humbled and honored for you to be a part of our great and growing team and community and movement that is bringing humanity together. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here's Brenda Leaves. She's all about being you, and she is going to come share her story with us tonight on a great and engaging topic to her, which is not only about being you, but maybe finding out the better question to ask is who are you? So, Brenda Leaves, over to you.
So it's funny because normally I would have like a script, I would have bullet points of what I'm about to cover. And I don't know why. I just said, you know what? I'm just going to be myself. I'm just going to go there. I'm going to show up and I'm going to give the best I can about myself. So, talking a little bit about me, I, as I mentioned before, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. And at a very, very early age, I developed an autoimmune disease, a disorder. And as a result of my autoimmune disorder, I remember the doctors telling me, Brenda, you are going to have to struggle with this for the rest of your life. You're going to have to learn to adjust to this condition for the rest of my life. And I remember as if it was today that I said to the doctors, "You're not correct. I'm going to heal." And fast forward a year and a half after my diagnosis, um, I healed. And the doctors couldn't believe it because all markers in my blood had actually deleted the autoimmune condition. Through life, I struggled a little bit. I went to college, and during my years in college, I developed a what is it called? It's eating disorder. Sorry for that.
Right.
Uh-huh. And as I developed my eating disorder, that took me on on a path of mental health specifically. And
Mhm.
that even took me to, and this is the first time I'm speaking so boldly in front of such a big audience that it's going to be able to see this. It took me through even a suicide attempt, which I gotta say it was a full learning experience for me, and it increased my maturity level. But the key thing about me is I didn't let any of those things define me. Every time a curveball was thrown my way, I would constantly be looking for a way to get better and a way to fight it. And later in life, I would even say, if I look even at other things that happened to me, I was um, I almost lost my husband at a very young age. He had two strokes, and even after that, then we were blessed with the birth of our daughter, and which is a miracle baby because we were told we were not going to be able to have kids. So, and then still she came into this world. Fast forward to 2016, I would say most of my career was very successful. I worked for different CPG organizations around in Puerto Rico and here in the US. And I had a very successful track record. However, 2016 threw a curveball at me. I had a really difficult injury in 2016. As a result of my injury, I ended up having to have an emergency cervical fusion. And oh boy, was I up for a surprise, because it that that curveball that came my way shook my life. It made me realize the amount of hours I was putting to work. It made me realize how much I was sacrificing my family. It made me realize that there was much more to life than just working. It also made me start to learn more about the power of thought, the power of the law of attraction. I started to follow uh, Dr. Joe Dispenza. I started to follow Gabrielle Bernstein, Abraham Hicks. You name it, I probably read each and every book that where there was related to this. And what it did is awoke in me a need to help people. And ever since 2016 all the way to 2022, I knew I wanted to do more. I knew I wanted to do better in life. Um, However, for some reason, I was in a comfortable space. I was basically in a space where I had a secure paycheck or a good paycheck. I was, I would say, stable. I was still growing in the organization, but something inside of me wasn't fulfilling anymore. I didn't feel at that time that I was living my purpose. However, I think a lot of people who could be hearing this could resonate with them. We fall in the trap of feeling comfortable. We fall in the trap of getting filled with fears and allowing fear to take over us. And during that time, I would say that I was filled with fears. I was in a comfortable space. Um, and I felt I needed to learn so much in order to be able to do what I was doing, what I wanted to do, sorry. Um, and I didn't take the risk. I went the safe way, and then the pandemic hit, right? And when the pandemic hit, it was funny because I it's like, okay, this is the best time for me, but I was working 16 hours a day during the peak of the pandemic easily, because I was in supply chain. So everything that needed to be done around the supply chain, we were firefighting all the time. So I didn't leverage that time to basically put more into my personal bank. I was just getting depleted and depleted and depleted. And then in 2022, what happened is I got laid off. And by getting laid off, I would say it was a blessing in disguise. Not because, I mean, I believe the company I used to work for is a very good company. It's not because the company, but there was a misalignment in my values and the values of the people I was reporting with. And I wasn't like, my values had shifted, because the key thing is, when we look back at 2016 at my injury changed me, changed the way I saw life. So that was a big stepping stone towards adjusting my values. And when that happened, it was like, when they actually, I got laid off, it was like, okay, so what do I do now? Do I go back to corporate America, or do I take this opportunity and follow my passion? And even though for a period of time I was entertaining both, the realization was at the end that I needed, if there wasn't going to be another perfect time in life, and if I learned something during the last couple of months, is that life doesn't show you the opportunities unless you are ready for it. And in my specific case, life was giving me the opportunity to finally get my coaching certification, do other things for myself. And I realized at that time, Chris, that during all the last 7 years, I wasn't being my authentic self. And this is where BU gets born, because it made me realize that there's plenty of people out there in the corporate world, or even in just general life, that they are so ingrained into their day to day that they are not living their passion, their life. They're not being their authentic selves. And and for me, that was a big realization that made me say, you know what, if I was in if I was this deep for so many years, I wish somebody with the knowledge I have today could have helped me the way I can help other people. And that's where BU with Brendaliz was born. And it's funny because I went from developing my saying, okay, I was taking courses and all of that, but from the moment I made the decision, I'm going to launch my business and I'm going to dedicate 100% to this, versus the moment I actually launched my business, it was not even 40 days apart. So within 40 days, I went on a mission and I said, I'm going to do all this pro bono work to get my testimonials out there, to get my expertise out there. And I am going to launch my business and be able to be ready to invoice by January 1st. And I did it. I did it. And the only way I could do it was because I refound myself. I let go of all the emotional baggage that was holding me, and I finally was free to be myself.
Wow.
And that's the story of myself. That's why I'm, when people talk about being sick, I know that you can heal. We have the power within ourselves to drive a big portion of the healing journey. That's why when people say I'm stuck, I know you can get out of it, because it's possible, because I lived it and I know it's something people can do from first level of experience.
Exactly. And when you think about it, Brenda Lees, when you're willing to take that step into a much larger world and you literally want to do that, not only for yourself, but you really want to do it for really meeting others in that kind of way to where they can say, hey, I can be my authentic self with Brendaliz every day in every way. And when you create that environment to such an extent, not only can be a benefit to you, but also a benefit to them. And then it creates that what we've called for probably generations. It's like that ripple effect. I call it probably legacy. And when you do it in that kind of context, that it spreads out to not only you, but someone else that you don't even know, let's say halfway across the world, and they can come back and say, hey, Brendaliz, I saw you on YouTube sharing your story with bringing humanity together. And then next thing you know, they send you a message and say, hey, we want, and I mean, case in point, look what happened last night with that LinkedIn audio call.
That was a powerful call.
That it was. That guy Ian said, I want to get to know you, Brendaliz, because your story was powerful.
And I've got to say, you know what's the beauty of all of this is that we, we have within ourselves the potential of expansion, and
Yes.
we have within ourselves the connection to the wholeness. And I've said this in multiple different ways. This is not something the first time I'm telling you, but um and why do I say we have the potential of expansion is because if and when we are ready, the expansion will happen.
Mhm.
The key thing is making sure that you are ready. Was I ready in 2016, 2017? Actually, I kind of was, because I began my expansion through knowledge and through contrast, because I wasn't in a happy place. And that was the signal of life telling me there's more to you than just where you are.
Mhm.
And after I realized all of that, yeah, I didn't take the plunge, but when the opportunity came, I said, you know what? If life is showing me, and if life put me this opportunity of losing my job up in the table, it's because there's something greater for me. And it's up to me to find what that something greater is. And in my specific case, it was all about being true to what my heart desired. Could I have found an amazing job in corporate America? Yes. Could I have actually, can I still go back to corporate America? Absolutely. I have the knowledge, the expertise, and the leadership to do it. Can I take what I'm learning today and take it back to another group or other organization? Absolutely. But right now, in my now, I am living true to myself, and I am following what my heart truly desires.
Exactly. And well, I see we are having Miranda join us yet again today. Miranda, how are you doing this evening?
Thank you. I'm doing well. I hope that I'm not being annoying, like being in every meeting, but I really like to listen every story. And wow, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with Brendali's story. And as I said before, in every story we find ourselves. Like what happened? How do we came to success? And sometimes it's set of life events that uh, somehow put us through the right path.
You know what? It's crazy, Miranda, is that if you had asked me in 2020, 2017, if I would see myself taking the risks that I'm taking today, I would have said to you, are you crazy?
Yeah,
Somehow today I'm in the shoe, and I know the amount of risk I have taken, and the amount of uncertainty that it's in my life today, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because
that's right.
it's and I can tell you with a sense of calmness, right, and a sense of confidence within myself, that I know things will work out and I know things will be fine. And I know that at the end of the day, the path that is there for me, it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna be there.
Right. Yes. Throughout life, we want to get to we have this, usually human people have intuition, want to be authentic. It's very important to them to work something that aligns with their values.
Mm-hmm.
But as we go through, sometimes, society gives us this, okay, you have to be certain, get this job. And sometimes along the way, you lose that sense of being authentic. You say, okay, it's better to get comfort, like the conformity with other people and with other expectations, and sometimes, and you neglect yourself. But as you go through, you function, but something is missing, you
So,
know
go ahead.
yeah, something is missing. And again, God puts us through challenges and events, and as you mentioned, unfortunate sickness and all that. And then you gain, let's say, inner strength to overcome that. And when you overcome a lot of things, then you said, okay, I'm ready. And why we are afraid? Fear of failure. What if we fail? Who cares? We try, you know?
What if we what if we are successful?
Yes, exactly. We never think the positive. We always think, what if we fail? Yes, but God says if you help yourself, God will help you. So you have to open the path. You have to be certain about it. And as you mentioned, sometimes we say, no, I don't know if I have the right knowledge and all that. Then beat it. Read more, get more resources, gain your confidence through actions. Not just sit there and, oh, I'm not ready, but do something about it. And
Mhm.
we've been there many times, and a lot of missed opportunities because
Yeah.
of that uncertainty. But as we go through, again, our true self says, okay, we have a calling, we have to take it, and we have to move forward.
Yeah, and funny enough that you're saying all of that, it's because we tend to be our worst enemies, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and for me, after I made the decision, while I was making that decision to finally launch my business, what really made me take that bold decision with a 3000% confidence was doing a deep inner healing journey. I had to really let go of a lot of deep bottled emotions. I was carrying, and I remember being in a training and a lady saying, my baggage, my emotional baggage is the size of a 777. And that's how I felt. I
Oh
felt I was
wow.
carrying a 777 in my shoulders, and like everything was coming fears, and like it's like everything I bottled and left and put aside came back, but with a huge vengeance. And I had to manage that, and I had to take care of myself. And that's when I realized that, and I learned, through a lot of different organizations, especially through the learnings of neurolinguistic programming, which I'm extremely grateful for. I learned that 95% of who we are, we don't have control over it. It's happening unconsciously.
Yeah.
So that's when I realized I know everything. I've learned everything. Eh, I know all the theory, but somehow I felt I couldn't connect the theory to my actions. And it was like, if I know all the theory and I know everything I need to do, why can't I let go of all of these bottled emotions? And I had to go through myself what I call a breakthrough session. And when I was able to shed all of those emotions and let go of that baggage, it was like freedom finally hit me. And that's when I realized, shit, there's so many people out there as the same as me that have so much baggage that they don't even know they have, and they don't realize that they are acting and they're making the decisions they're making because of that baggage. And that's
Right.
why I said, you know what? I'm going to work with the unconscious mind. I'm going to work with hypnosis. I'm going to work with mental and emotional release. I'm really going to help people overcome their baggage.
Yeah. Reprogramming yourself
A
of
reprogramming,
the
yes, and and I know there's gonna be different points of view of people who are gonna be listening to me, and they might not necessarily agree with everything I'm saying, but we are raised in a society where we believe that in order for you to heal, you have to suffer. And my healing journey had zero pain in it. Once
yeah,
I decided I'm ready, I'm gonna go through this. Yeah, I it was actually liberating. It was freedom. It was like I could finally be myself.
yeah,
And people believe that in order for me to heal, I need to suffer. No, that's not true.
right.
Well, when you think about it, it just hit me, and it comes from a great podcaster. His name is Dan Bongino. He said the greatest path to uh, either enlightenment or enjoyment or fulfillment or whatever that might be is through the path of suffering. So when you think about it from a suffering kind of dynamic, suffering don't have to be the end all be all to you. It doesn't really have to be that way. It's how you show up to that suffering that matters. So through the journey of suffering, maybe that journey of suffering, it was meant to be there for you at that time to get you better on the other side of that. Because see, if you want to play the victim card and say, "Oh, woe is me. This is what life threw me, and this card ball really knocked me down. And I didn't hit a home run again today. I'm going to let it keep me down." And then you're going to end up saying to yourself time after time, "Why am I always here? Why am I back in this hole? Why am I always doing these kind of things?" And then when you really realize, hey, I have a choice in the matter. And see, I truly believe in this, and I want to ask both you ladies this because I truly believe it's going to add so much value. Do you truly believe, ladies, that choice is the ultimate path to freedom?
Definitely yes. Definitely yes. Choice, it is within us, but sometimes we don't understand. As we go through, we want to align with other people and we want to be the same. And we think that we don't have a choice, but the choice is there. And yes, you have to heal and you have to understand that uh, the path of success is managing yourself first. And by having emotional baggage, you won't be successful in any areas of your life. So the choice is there to heal yourself first and then to stand up for yourself. And even if someone disagrees with your choices, for you, it's important you to have a strong argument why it's important to to follow that path that for some people doesn't resonate. And that is very important. And as Brendaliz said, it's important to ask questions to yourself, to work with your unconsciouses. Why is this like this? Why is this like that? You have to work with yourself. Unfortunately, we heal after we suffer. You know, uh, we don't know that there is a choice to heal even before suffering. But I don't know. We are as we are. I mean, that's life. But it's never too late. It's never too late to heal. And once you heal, then there are really many opportunities. You're more confident. You don't care what other people say, and you choose your path.
So
That's
if
my thought.
so I
Yeah.
fully agree with you. I think even in my darkest moments in life, Chris, I still always had a choice.
Right. how
I
you see
always
it.
had a choice. Sometimes the choice was not evident, but even just waking up and deciding to give the best for myself, that was still a choice.
Hmm.
And sometimes the choice for me to heal and go on my healing journey may not have been as evident. However, life will show you, and what life will present to you, the opportunities for you to drive that healing journey. It's up to you to say, okay, I'm going to grab it by the bull by the horns and I'm going to run with it. Or to say, oh, no, 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 that can wait. This is not my moment. I'm not sure. You're still making a choice.
Exactly. And think about it. As much opportunities that we have in our lives, we always kind of play the coulda, woulda, shoulda game to ourselves each and every single day. It's like I could have done this and I didn't take upon it, because then when hindsight's 2020, you look back on it and said, "Hey, maybe I should have done that." When Brendaliz said that I needed to join Bring Humanity Together 6 months ago and everything like that, and I should have listened to her. I should have listened to her because this is where she is now and everything like that. So when life throws you those opportunities, it's I will go back to Jody Kay when she always says yes before she says no. And if we can say yes to life in such a way that we take those opportunities that's been afforded to us, and yes, recognize what's there for us at that present moment. Yes, we may not do it right away, and that's totally understandable. Totally realize that and embrace that. But we also can do it from the power of the pause. Say, hey, maybe I want to do this, but I got to be able to do this before I get to that. Because it's almost like if you kind of jump the gun from going to A and then going all the way to Y, and you're forgetting all those other things in between. You, I won't say that that's not a bad thing, because that might be a way to get you to where you want to go. I'm not saying that that's not there for people. It could actually be, but then for some people, when they do that jump and they end up coming back and saying, "Hey, the coulda, woulda, shoulda. I jumped all the way to Y, but look what I missed out on this because I already went to Y." They didn't go to the other journey because see, we almost Brenda Lisa Miranda. I want to touch on this. It's almost we to a certain extent we wait for that perfect moment. We wait for that perfect opportunity. We wait for that perfect person to come into our lives, whether it be relationship wise, to be for our husbands and our wives and everything like that, or even when it comes to that dream opportunity in the workplace dynamic, not a dream job, but a dream to work with people to really. This is my passion. This is my purpose. And we kind of, like I said, we play the waiting game, and we say we only will be happy when I get $1 million. Only will be happy when I get 1 million followers. Only will be happy when X, Y, and Z, whatever that. I mean, what shows up to you in that, lady? So I'll go with you, Bernalise. What shows up for you?
So I have a couple of things I want to say, but first I'll say that there will never be a perfect moment but the now. Now, we have to be realistic at what we're pushing ourselves. We need to be mindful that you're not pushing yourself to the extreme of burnout, right? So you have to make sure that you're living a balanced life as better as you can. However, if there's something that lights you up, and if there's something that fills your soul with enlightenment, and that if there's something that makes your soul dance, why wait? Why not do it now? Why? Because at the end of the day, that's one of the major purposes of why we come to this world, to live a fulfilling life. And that takes me to the second point that I wanted to say is, I believe life shows us learnings through contrast, right? And this
Mm-hmm.
is a very deep belief of mine. And I believe that people come to this life with specific purposes, meaning
Yes.
we come to this life to allow our soul to evolve. And as a result of having that evolution, right, or enlightenment, um, we may be put into difficult positions to grow and learn.
Mhm.
The moment I started to see my pain and my struggles as contrast that would allow me to evolve my soul, I experience life differently because I'm not longer a victim of the circumstances, but I'm growing from the circumstances in order to become evolved.
Or a better version of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Miranda, your thoughts?
Yeah, yeah. This what Brendaliz said now. Like it's not good to victimize yourself. Like, oh, why is this happening to me? And also in my life, I had set of very disappointing events and situations. But yes, I was victimizing at first, but now I don't. And that is very, you take ownership, you take power of your life, of your emotions, and everything. So it's very important this not to be a victim, why me, but just deal with it, take action. The more actions you take, the more you resonate with what's happening and what you should do next, uh, the calmer you'll be, the better version of yourself will be. And you say, okay, it is what it is. What options do I have? What should I do? And waiting for the perfect moment, yes, that happens. And that's okay. Because sometimes we are afraid of taking big steps because, as I said, we're afraid that we won't succeed. And I learned that you won't succeed if you're afraid of failure. So I failed many times until I succeeded, and that's okay. That's okay. You tried something, didn't work out, you'll try something else. But the worst thing that can happen is to give up. Once you give up, then you get disappointed, you get isolated, and that's not good. And you can do it either in two ways. You can either start right away and say, okay, I will work on my dream and I will do this and this and that, and maybe in a fast speed, if I should say. Or you can do it brick by brick, like brick by brick. You build a wall. You feel comfortable doing part of something that brings you closer to your dream, and that's okay. It all depends how you want to do it, but it is important at least to do something every day, to work on it, to think through, to ask questions, to make a plan. And even if the initial plan doesn't work out, sometimes as you go through, something else comes up.
And
So
sometimes it's better.
yeah, and sometimes it's better, and you say, oh, I've never thought of this. But if you stay in one place and you don't try and you don't think and you don't brainstorm, then you won't see the other possibilities. So it doesn't have to be 100% the dream that you think of, but along the way you can find something even better, you know? So I would say it's good to just move forward, even with baby steps, just move forward no matter what.
It's like the Nike jargon, just do it.
Just
Yes.
do it.
Just do it.
Definitely.
Just take that first step, take that plunge. I mean, there's something to be said about stepping a little bit outside of your comfort zone and pushing the boundaries even further out. When you do that, it's like you realize that, oh my God, it's okay. I can do it.
Yeah.
And it's not the end of the world. And however, if I still believe that if you are unconsciously if your unconscious behaviors don't allow you to move forward, then get help. There's so many different methods out there. There's coaches, there's therapists, there's counselors, there's practitioners like me. Like there's so many new modalities out there, all with the same purpose of helping us move out of that internal baggage that we have in order to embrace the new. And it's not even about, oh, Brenda has the best techniques. No, there's there's no one size fits all. There's one for everyone. So if it's just about trying and finding what works for you.
What really resonates with me right now, it comes right back many years ago, even before probably any of us was actually born, is when, think about this, when Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. How many times did it actually take him to invent that light bulb? It took him over 10,000 times to get to that one.
Yeah.
But
Different
see, that one
approaches.
matters
Yeah.
because that one will turn into many. And when you think about it, from what I truly believe, how we built out bringing humanity together, we've done it from the prism of one. And here's why. That one will turn into many because there again, you're allowing that to occur. That one conversation, that one collaboration, that one community event, that one whatever. When you see a show, you see a broadcast, LinkedIn audio, whatever that might be, that one could be the one for you that can literally change the direction and trajectory of your life. If again, you are allowing that and you are willing enough to let that be in your life, because you just never know. It might be that one time that me and Brendaliz says and thinks of something. In fact, she did. In fact, yesterday, in fact, because she said, "Hey, Chris, you know what we should do? We need to get all some of these company CEOs, like the one we just had on that LinkedIn audio, and we need to create a panel discussion around that." And I'm like, absolutely, we should do that. And see,
Yeah.
that's the beautiful thing about conversations. Those brainstorming opportunities can come to you at an instant, and sometimes we don't even recognize it because we're too far into ourselves or far into our work or whatever that might be to really recognize the opportunity that's been afforded to us. And again, I have to go to Sir Richard Branson when he says this: to if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure how to do it, say yes and learn how to do it later.
As long as it's aligned to your values. That's the only thing I would add.
Well, see, I'm glad you said that, because here's another thing I will actually add on to that. It can be started from three different ways, for me at least. Number one, it can be started from the paradigm of alignment.
Mm-hmm.
If it's aligned to you, great, got it, good. Run
Got
with
it.
that with the high heels, absolutely. That's a gift in and of itself. But then also the paradigm of agreement. If it's an agreement with you, then hey, by all means,
Why
make
not?
it. Why not? Absolutely. But then again, that third dynamic is the coup de grace moment. I truly believe in paradigm that when you only have alignment and agreement together, that is going to be there. And when you think about it from the alignment and agreement space, that you start on that one on each other, what it doesn't really matter. And you say, hey, I want to start from alignment with Brendaliz. Okay, great. Start it from the alignment dynamic. Let it be for that. And let them have that journey to go into the process to agreement. And if you allow that to occur, that creates again that gift of alignment and agreement coming together. To what that makes us? Makes us whole and everything like that. But then again, and you can flip it right back around and say, hey, I start from an agreement, and then take that journey into alignment. That's going to be there for people too as well. And I truly believe we can do that here at Bringing Humanity Together, with people, with organizations, with kids in school. It doesn't really matter, because if you allow that journey and process play out for them in their own unique way and make it about them and put it on their timetable, not on yours, that creates a whole different dynamic in and of itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chris, I want to add one more example. You said the light bulb, which I love. Did you know that the Starbucks CEO, Howard Schultz, was rejected 217 times before he finally got approved his idea of Starbucks?
Say that again
Wow.
for our audience. Say that one again.
Howard Schultz, the Starbucks, the ex CEO of Starbucks, and if I pronounce the names wrong, people just, it's okay. Was rejected 217 times before his ideas, his loans were approved, his financial ideas were approved. And where is Starbucks today? Globally.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, and that's like when you believe in your dream, it doesn't matter how many times you reject it. And that's you have to you have to be a very strong willed for sure. Or like the General Sanders, the KFC that was successful at 67 when he was
No, no,
67.
he was successful at age 70.
870, really?
No, no,
Oh,
he actually started his first store, and the reason why I know this is because I lived in Louisville, Kentucky.
oh,
He,
really?
yes, I
Wow,
did. I
interesting.
used to live in Louisville, Kentucky. Colonel
Okay.
Sandals did not have his first store until he turned age 70, and his first store was in Louisville,
Yeah,
Kentucky.
correct. 70. Yes, yes, yes. I'm
Mhm.
so inspired by his story because I know all the details. Yeah.
So when you really think about it, ladies, it's not about age. It's not about how much money you have in the bank. It's not about what you've been through, whether to be a car accident, been labeled as a uh, mentally disabled or physically disabled or have a speech impediment or anything like that. You can literally take all that and say, that doesn't define me and label me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thumbs up. Yeah.
Thumbs up. And now I'm going to applaud Chris because it's all about labels. The moment you put a label to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
that moment it becomes your identity.
Correct.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if you identified as a behavior or as a circumstance, you can actually change it.
Yes.
So I love to give this example. Kids grow up, right? And I remember doing this to my daughter, which now I'm so embarrassed that I'm saying this even in public. But there was a period in time, like all kids lie. They're learning to test the boundaries. They lie. And I remember there was a point in my time that I was like, you are such a liar. At that point in time, I was basically identifying her as a liar. The moment I identified her as a liar, everything that was happening in our life was showing and proving to us that she was a liar. But the moment I realized that she was not a liar, she behaved a certain way, she lied. Now I can change that behavior because this is not her identity, but this is a behavior that she has. Oh, and that moment was magic. Things changed because she was no longer a liar, but she was just someone who every now and then lied.
She wasn't a label.
She wasn't labeled. It's the same thing with diabetics. And I know this is not the topic today, but anyway, when you say, I'm sick, no, I'm experiencing sickness or I'm healing. If you say, I'm sick, you're declaring yourself as a sick human being and your identity is of a sick person. If you
Right.
say, I'm healing, you're walking out of it. You're just managing the condition out.
Right.
And I
Wow.
encourage everyone that is listening to us today, watch carefully what are those stories that you're constantly thinking of yourself? How do you label yourself? And can you shift that label into something that is more behavioral that you can actually adjust?
Or you can take it a step further, and this is what I truly believe. This is what because this is what has did it for me. When I got to the age of discernment that I was not going to be labeled as a person who would never be able to speak again, or being labeled as an emotionally handicapped person, or labeled as a slower learning disability person.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to that point, Brendaliz and Miranda, I said to myself, these don't define me. These are me because I can change them because you know what I can do? I can let go of what doesn't serve me. And
Yeah.
if I can be willing to let go of that doesn't serve me or even what holds me back, it will never hold me back. And once I let that be, I can step into a much larger world and be a part of something bigger than myself because I don't deem myself to be in that place anymore. Now, granted, we're
Yeah.
going to have those times that we step back and we take 5 steps back to be able to gain 2 steps forward, and that's okay. It's about the learning process of life. And it's
Yeah.
like what we said on the call yesterday, that we can actually become the next leaders of life right here, right now, if we choose to do so.
We have two choices. We are the difference or we're not the difference.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
I choose to be the difference. I choose to help people. I choose to live life at my terms. I choose joy over anything else.
Yeah.
I choose me above everything else. And some people might say, "Oh, Brenda, but there's a fine line right there. You touched it." Because I choose God over me. Like, what about the spiritual? And I would say, well, I don't see a difference in the spiritual. I see God is 100% part of me. So I choose me. And if I choose me, I'm choosing God.
And you can choose everything else in your life.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm part of the wholeness. And because I'm part of the wholeness, I don't have a choice to make in terms of is it God or is it me? Because I'm part of that wholeness. And that wholeness is part of me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Well,
sorry, Miranda, you were going to say something.
No, no, no worries. No, no. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I encourage everybody who's either listening to the recording or listening to us right now to just do a little bit of inventory in their lives. Sit down and what are the things that you really have wanted to do in life and you keep pushing aside because of fear, because of judgment, because of the unknown, because of uncertainty, or because you don't believe in yourself or you don't have the confidence? And what is that first step that you need to take in order for you to turn it around and become that version that you've always wanted to be? We have the power within ourselves. It's up to us.
and I will take that a step further, and I love that, Brenda Lees, because this is what has led me to create bringing humanity together in the way that I have. I know what I have been given as gifts, and I recognize the things that I don't know now. But there are people in our great and growing team and community who know what they know far better than me. And if I can learn a piece of that, a sliver, a little minute little thing, that's going to grow into something much larger because I want it to be. Because think about it in this kind of context. Maybe there's something that I know that's going to add value and benefit to you that you don't already know now. But then in turn, that there's something that you know that I don't know that's going to add benefit and value to me in turn. And again, that's where that connection will lead into collaboration and that will lead into community. if we allow that to occur in our lives, in every aspect of our lives, that's going to move mountains, that is going to build bridges, that is going to create transformation like no other time in human history. And I truly believe that when you think about it, all of that is it's a choice. We can choose to have that. But do we actually do that? Many people don't know how to get there. But maybe we can be the facilitators and the leaders of life to show that to people that they can have that. And it's there right before them if they allow that. Because, see, once you allow things in your life versus not allowing them in your life, you end up going back and saying, why am I in this hole yet again? Why I'm always here and always here? And it gets to what's the very definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again to expect a different result. When you can actually go to in a different way, it's up. I had to say this. Everyone tonight, go to YouTube, and there are two videos that I'll highly, and I'll put it into the comment sections of tonight's broadcast. There are two videos that I would like for you guys to watch tonight. Number one is how to start a movement for Derek Sievers. That video in 3 minutes or less is going to add value to this great and engaging conversation tonight. And this is the other one. It's called About Letting Go of the Outcome, from Paral Kruner, where she actually spoke at the University of Florida many years ago. But actually, there's three. I'm going to add a third one into it because they just spoke to me right now. So there's another one that comes from Celeste Headley. She's a trained opera singer by trade. And her video is going to be Don't Find a Job, Find a Mission. And I truly believe, ladies and gentlemen, once you watch all three of those videos, it's going to add so much clarity to your life, so much value to your life. And it's inspired me to, like I said, bring humanity together in the way that I've seen it play out right now. Because we're growing, because we're allowing people in our lives to add that next currency of humanity, which is value, adding collaboration into the mix, adding curiosity to our lives, adding so many other different things, again, to make us whole. And I truly believe once we get to that place that we are whole together, those field of dreams will not only be achievable and believable to each and every single one of us, they can be duplicated around the world.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I'm just looking right now at the counter, and it says 57 minutes 56 seconds. I can't believe we've been talking so long, and it feels like it was only 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's the wonderful thing about conversation. It can, you just never know. Remember, I can see this. Brendaliz, I don't want to get too dive deep into your personal life, but I think it goes right back to the old thing when, especially when we're teenagers and we're having young love, we'd be on the phone till 4 o'clock in the morning, and they said, "Hey, I got to go to school. I got to go. Good night." And I've done this where I would be on the phone, and it would be like at midnight, and I'll be talking. It could be a best friend, it could be a girlfriend or whatever, but yet you'll be talking like nobody's business, and you just say, "Hey, we just got on the phone." No, we didn't. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. We've been on this phone for over 6 hours. What?
Definitely.
And this also what comes into mind too as well. I think we have to talk about it, and again on another broadcast, and we've done it before, but I think this is going to add some value tonight. Everyone, think about this. What if you can actually have intentionality and flow live in your life?
Okay, repeat that again, Chris.
What if you can actually have intentionality and flow live in your life?
Absolutely. Why not?
Yep.
Why not? I mean, so this is one of the things that for me has been like my big, well, I've said this so many times, so I don't know if it's my biggest learning or not. So, anyway, once you are able to let go of baggage, right? You put yourself in an alignment, energetically alignment moment where now you're not being pulled back by negative emotions. You're not being pulled back by the past. You're not being pulled back by things that were deterring you. Now are living life at a higher frequency. By
Yes,
living life at a higher frequency, what you do is you then open the floodgates, right? To attract into your life things that you may not have seen as possible.
Correct.
And
absolutely.
when you do that, think about it. The intention, you have the intention, you let go of all the shit that it's holding you back. And
Yep.
now you're opening the floodgates, and the flow of things into your life are going to be crazy.
Yes.
The key thing is we boycott ourselves constantly, constantly. And when we do so, we need to be create awareness. Oh, I'm going that path. Nope. Let's reel myself in. Let's see what's the learning that I need to learn to move forward. Let's move forward and let's continue the momentum.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna say something really funny. And so when we were about to sell our house, I remember I told my realtor this. I said to her, we're making bets to see how much are we going to oversell the house from the asking price, right? And I gave her a number. Let's think of the number as X. I said to her, I think reasonably it's going to be closer to this number. However, I know every house has a lover. My house will find its lover, and I'm going to get X amount, Y amount. And
Yeah,
she said to me, "Well, I think your first number is more reasonable, but who knows?" And I said to her, "I believe each house has a lover, and life will send me the lover." At that point, I had already put it out there that I wanted this other number, but I was creating a lot of resistance myself. I was thinking constantly, I don't have money, I cannot spend money on this or that. And I remember I was taking a course where they were making an offer to for a mentorship type of thing. And I said to myself, why am I having this emotion inside of myself that is creating a resistance on money, if you know what, I know what I asked the universe, and I know it's coming, and you know what, I don't care, I'm going to invest in myself. I went to the car, I got my credit card, I put it back down, I applied for the mentorship, and a couple of hours later I received the offer.
And at a
And
couple,
sorry, and that offer that we received was what I had put out to the universe. If I
wow.
had not let go of the resistance that I had on investing money, I would not have gotten that offer. I opened the doors, I opened the floodgates, I allowed it to flow to me.
Without judgment, without fear, with clear intention.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Nothing gets along in a way with your intention, it happens. I will share a story, the similar story. Like 3 years ago, I had a job that it was a crappy job in the sense of uh, wasn't in alignment with my values and all that. It doesn't matter. And I was going back from work and I was sad and all that. And for one moment, I said, you know what? I wish that within 3 months, I will find another job with this amount of money, you know? but it was so clear. Like I wasn't thinking, nothing, no emotions, nothing, just intention. And you wouldn't believe it that really after 3 months, I got the job with the exact amount of money. I asked more and they said, okay, let's negotiate. And it was the exact amount that I thought it. And it was like, wow. But you have to be well prepared and to have clear intention and not to get along the way nothing. So,
You have to let go of that resistance you create because you want to
yeah,
control the outcome.
yes. And why not ask more? Why? Like, as my husband says, like, God, you can ask as much as you want. There is no restriction. And we always feel like, okay, we should maybe ask this or that. But yes, it's important to know and to manifest it
Absolutely, absolutely.
and not to label yourself. As you said, with the example with your daughter, this is so multidimensional because it's like it can be also with our emotions. We say, I'm angry. You label yourself that you're angry, but you can see it differently from a different perspective. For example, you say, okay, I feel this emotion. I feel angry because of this, but not that to define you. Or,
Absolutely.
yeah, or it is about the performance, let's say, because most of the times we are afraid to move forward because maybe we are not very good at it, or we think that we are not perfect. And this is very, I think, is crucial to understand that performance doesn't define us, and with practice you can get better. So you are who you are, but of course with practice, even your performance can get better. And then the more you get better, the more confidence you have. So labeling is very important in all aspects of our lives, even for our family, as you mentioned, but also for ourselves, because sometimes we are the worst enemies of ourselves. Not to label ourselves, just to be curious, to evaluate ourselves. Every day we should reevaluate ourselves, even in the family, to change the strategy. This is working, this is not working. By being this open, then the flow comes, the intention comes, everything goes much easier.
Absolutely.
Ladies, there's a reason why you are here at Bringing Humanity Together. It's just for this very thing. And I have to say, from the bottom of my heart, I am so humbled and honored that you guys are willing to take this journey with me and everyone else here at Bringing Humanity Together, because we will do some amazing things. And it can start just like this, through the prism of conversation. And I want to go to you, Brendaliz, and I will go to you, Miranda, here in a second. But I want to go to you, Brendaliz. What would you like to share with our audience tonight? That not only for them to be themselves, but how can actually they can be a part of what we're building here at Bringing Humanity Together. What great thing that you would like to share with them tonight before we end our broadcast?
You got me thinking there.
When I see you tilting your head, I know you're thinking. Absolutely.
I would say to people, if it resonates with you, do it. If you feel you need to be part of something bigger, move forward and do it. And if you have felt for a long period of time that the where you are in life is not where you belong, then start here. This is a great place to start.
Absolutely love that 100%. Miranda, over to you.
Yes, I would say that most of people fear the getting out of the comfort zone. It's not it's the fear of losing that comfort, but also the unknown. And sometimes that stops people to move forward. But I would say that if you aren't happy where you are, you need to take action, even with baby steps, even with small steps. You have to do something different. As you said, Chris, you can't do the same things and then expect different results. You have to change. If the change is scary for you, start with baby steps and then get comfortable with it. But everyone can do it. Everyone, and of course, it's important to work with yourself, to heal, to remove the emotional baggage because we all have it, and that blocks us. And most importantly, do not label yourself with anything. Do not judge yourself with anything. You just be and do what you optimally can do at the moment.
Absolutely. You're on mute.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was actually muted. I was I didn't want to uh talk over anybody because it was such a great share. But from here's my final thoughts. Allow yourself to not only step into the unknown, but also know that the unknown can be known. Understand that you can be one with not only yourself, but you can be one with others. And when you allow opportunity, allow connection, allow space, allow balance, and allow literally allow life to happen for you, not to you. It's going to create a dynamic for yourself in a way that will show up to you in a way that will give you opportunities, not only in the mindset of abundance, in the state of being of abundance, but allow you to move forward in a way that creates not only fulfillment, creates joy, creates love, creates uh, everything that you want in your life. I won't say need because sometimes there's some things that we say that we need. In fact, it's not what we really need, it's what we really want. But when you allow things that you really want and don't want to have in your life, those are the things that are actually there for you. That will be a great way for you to step into a much larger world and everything. And I truly believe we can do that in a way that will create, like I said, create a connection that will lead into collaboration and that will lead into community. So I just truly believe that is all there for each and every single. Uh, and Petra, I know you've been trying to get in and everything like that. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with the link. Uh, Hopefully it'll be okay for tomorrow's call. And yeah, Petra, she's giving the I can't get in and everything like that. And like I said, I wish I was a tech guru that could actually fix all these kind of things. But maybe next time you can be able to join us and everything. And the good thing about it, Petra, this is going to be on a replay, so you can watch it right from the beginning and everything, and it's going to be great. But like I said, Brendaliz and Miranda, and then everyone who's a part of our great and growing team and community and movement here at Bringing Humanity Together, I truly believe in this. I truly believe that It's not a matter of if this gets big, but it's only a matter of when and who's on board. And I want to go to both of you before we end the call. Do you believe the same?
Repeat that comment again, Chris.
Do you do you do you believe? Hold on, I got to shut a video off because it's playing and it needed to play because it was the one I was wanting to send people. Do you believe what I believe? That it's a it's not a matter of if this gets big for us here at Bring Humanity Together. It's only a matter of when and who's on board.
I mean, it's like everything. The power is within us, and we can take it as far as we want. And yeah, it's like it's like my new saying. You never say I'm haven't done X yet. So we haven't expanded yet, but we're getting there. So it's about the when and who gets on board. Absolutely.
What say you, Miranda?
Yes, definitely. It matters who gets on board, and it matters who contributes and who brainstorms. But yes, all together, I think we can achieve great things for sure. But it is important who joins on board. I agree with that.
All righty, very good, very good. So, from all of us here at Bringing Humanity Together, everyone have a great day. Make it your day, and just want to put this out there to everyone tonight before we close our broadcast tonight. If you want to come share your story on Conversations for Humanity, we do have a link. I've already put it in the comment section of LinkedIn and both our YouTube channels. If you would love to like to share your story, we would love to have you. And again, more importantly, we would love for you to be a part of our great and growing community team and movement that is bringing humanity together. And I truly believe you're going to really love what we're building here and what we're doing here. Because, like I said, I truly believe the better question to ask is not what you do, is who are you? And not only asking that of yourself and others, but just like what Brendaliz stands for, just be you. If you can just be you, there's nothing that we can't achieve or even want and have in our lives because, again, we're allowing that to occur. So, again, great conversation. Just let everybody know we're having another event tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time via Google Meet. We're having our Paradigm of Leadership call again tomorrow, and we're going to find out what does the heart of a leader look like and what does the heart of leadership look like to each and every single one of us. So we're going to have that call tomorrow. And of course, I've already posted our LinkedIn audio. So if you want to join us on Friday, please send me a message or Brendaliz or Miranda, and we will love to send that information to you. So from all of us here at Bring Humanity Together, have a great day, make your day. And again, thank you to our guests tonight, Miranda, and our special guest, Brendaliz. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day tonight to share your story with us tonight.
I'm blessed to be here.
Thank
Well,
you.
yeah, we're blessed to have you here too as well. So you ladies have a great night. Make it your night, and for all intents and purposes, I'm going to say yes. The move is going to be great. No snafus, no issues. You'll be writing home in like no time.
Absolutely, absolutely. W-
Yep.
it's yeah, everything is flowing. Everything is flowing.
Yes. Yes. So everyone have a great night. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on our Pillar and Paradigm of Leadership event tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Have a great day, everyone.